We've collected 180,000 kilos of trash. We've removed that much trash from nature in Qatar, from the mangrove, from the roda, from the beach, from the heritage sites.
These solar panels you're seeing behind me, you simply put them in the sun and the silicon diodes, they start producing energy all by themselves. It's really one of the miracles of material science.
Hello and welcome to Qatar 365. I'm Laila Humaira, and on this episode, we're exploring all the ways Qatar is putting sustainability at the forefront of its growth. One of its pledges is to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 24% and use 20% of its energy through solar power by 2030. But how does a country with so much sun harness all that power into energy? Well, I'm here at the Qatar Environment and Energy Research Institute to find out. This isn't your regular office. This sprawling site is Kiri's outdoor solar testing facility, where Dr. Ben Figgis goes to work every day. He and his team look after all the research on solar energy Kiri is conducting at this site to find the best ways to utilize the sun.
These solar panels you're seeing behind me, you simply put them in the sun and the silicon diodes, they start producing energy all by themselves. It's really one of the miracles of material science. So what we want to be doing is testing all the different technologies, because how they perform in one climate might be different from how they perform in another climate.
Qatar's solar industry has grown rapidly in the last few years, boosted by billions of dollars in investment in renewable energy. These solar panels are part of a 35,000 square meter facility, a test bed for what will power up Qatar's economy into a cleaner, greener future. The sun shines all year round in Qatar, with summer months getting up to 14 hours of daylight. But that doesn't necessarily mean solar power comes easy.
One of the biggest challenges we see for solar energy here in Qatar, in most desert regions, is the dust. The measurements we've done show that if you don't clean your solar panels here every month, they're going to lose about 15% of their power just from the dust.
That's where these cleaning robots come in. Every couple of days, they give the panels a dusting. At the same time, data is collected for how good they are in keeping the solar panels working efficiently. But even robots slip up sometimes and can scratch the panels while trying to clean them. And that's why Kiri's indoor facility is just as important as its outdoor site. From pressure tests to emulating extreme weather conditions, this lab puts solar panels through multiple trials to determine their durability and efficiency, and ultimately helps put them on the market. Here, we meet Dr. Juan Lopez Garcia, who leads Kiri's research unit. He tells me why these stress tests are a crucial part of what his team does.
So one of our projects is the study of the effect of this abrasion, this scratching, on the efficiency. What the main thing affected by this scratch is the light transmitted by the glass. You have a glass, if it's scratched, it can diffuse, scatter the light. So this can have an impact on the efficiency because you are reducing the light.
With Kiri's wealth of data from both labs, Qatar's solar-powered future looks bright. Qatar Foundation's Policy Research and Advocacy Center, EarthNA, was launched just last year, but it's already made strides in the world of sustainability and environmental research. I sat down with Dr. Gonzalo Castro de la Mata, the executive director at EarthNA, to find out more about the organization's role in mapping out Qatar's sustainable future. Dr. Gonzalo, thank you so much for being with us today. Firstly, let's look back at the success of the first ever EarthNA Summit. Can you share your thoughts on the event and future prospects for the summit?
Well, it was a wonderful first event. We call it the EarthNA Summit. And it's the first time we have had a meeting regarding sustainability for hot and arid environments. The importance is that sustainability for these types of climates means something very different. These are not tropical countries, these are not temperate countries, we don't have forests and we don't have water. So the impacts of climate change are going to be very severe, but also these countries are part of the solution because many of them are producers of hydrocarbons, which are part of the energy transition that we need to get to the targets of Paris Agreement.
Two big issues surrounding sustainable development are food security and water scarcity, both of which Qatar has managed successfully. What can other countries in hot and arid regions learn from Qatar's policies?
Well, food security is a huge challenge, and of course, if you don't have water, it's even more difficult. Qatar has introduced technology to enhance its own reliance on its own food production. And there are many lessons that can be exported to other countries. But the solutions have to be targeted to each ecosystem and to each type of land. I think that in this sense, being able to food security is not just growing your own food, but actually being able to rely on the supply from other countries. So having commercial routes and the ability to trade is also very important for food security.
In recent years, we've seen a growing number of youth being empowered to take action on the climate crisis. What are some of the ways that EarthNA is helping to amplify their voices?
Well, during the summit, we had a couple of sessions with youth, and we heard their voices, and they were very adamant about how the planet they want to inherit and coming up with their own solutions as well. So youth are definitely part of the solution. Youth keeps the pressure up, and I think it's very important for the current generation, the generation that is leading the world, to hear those voices.
Talk about a deep clean. The Doha Environmental Actions Project, or better known as DEEP, is making sure Qatar's beaches and heritage sites stay clean and in good condition for generations to come. The group of volunteers are taking a lead role in raising environmental awareness in the country. Adel Halim finds out about DEEP's fight against plastic pollution to restore Qatar's natural beauty.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the beautiful beach of the Al-Zubar Archaeological Site.
But these 100+ volunteers are not here for some fun in the sun. They're here to work, get their hands dirty, and clean up the beach.
We've been doing this for 5-6 years, and throughout time we've mobilized 11,000 volunteers, the majority of them students. Today you can see we have university students, we have elementary school students here who are joining us, families, companies, everyone, is part of this big movement that we've created through the years.
DEEP says plastic pollution is a major global concern. Every year, 11 million tons of plastic waste enter the ocean. The hope is that every single beach cleanup will increase environmental awareness here in Qatar. That's why the local organization urges volunteers to leave nothing behind but footprints.
We've collected 180,000 kilos of trash. We've removed that much trash from nature in Qatar, from the mangrove, from the roda, from the beach, from the heritage sites.
It takes plenty of people power, so every pair of hands helps. Atba Al-Bassam brought her daughter along to show the difference they can make together.
Today it's windy, but we want to be here to help the environment and to clean the beach in Azabara.
It's very easy for people to understand once they are on a site doing a cleanup that the challenge that we face of plastic pollution and littering, it is real. And it's much easier to have a conversation after you have witnessed how the place looked, how we left it, than if I wanted to convince you of how bad that is without you having that context.
One way to get people thinking about change is through art. Some of the bottles collected from previous cleanups made their way to the recently held Doha Learning Days.
We have a bunch of items that have been collected on the beaches surrounding Qatar, and our students are going to activate to do a collective art piece. They're going to do a dugong as well as a turtle.
Qatar Academy Doha's assistant principal says the animal-inspired artwork is intentional.
Our lands are being damaged, and this has an impact not only on the animals of Qatar. We've got beautiful whale sharks that aggregate here. We have our beautiful dugongs, as well as our sea turtles that nest. And sometimes when they see plastic bags that are floating in the water, they mistake them for jellyfish. And I think we have a real duty to take action and make sure that we leave our Earth a better place.
That message was heard loud and clear by the students. Activists in Action was started by a group of grade 5 students who wanted to ban single-use plastics in Qatar, which has since been embraced by the entire school.
From the research we've done, banning plastic bags is like a very huge step in committing to like a healthy environment. Because if you want to have a healthy environment, you can't have it while plastic is going on and using plastic for 12 minutes, and then throwing it away after 12 minutes, but then it stays on the planet for way more than how much you use it. So it's not fair to other people or even to animals.
Back at Al Zubara, Dr. Farhan Sakal is a regular when it comes to beach cleanups and hopes to see even more new faces next time.
This is a very good initiative that can be developed in Qatar further, and we have we reach a very, very nice target that's periodically running cleanups, and that helps the heritage sites to be clean, but also raise an environmental awareness in the country to the global problem. It is not a Qatari problem, it's a global problem that we need to solve.
Leading the fight against climate change and empowering future generations to take meaningful action, Qatar is powering up its green economy. And that's all the time we have on this episode. For more, do check out Euronews.com and connect with us through our hashtag. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Qatar 365.